You're standing in a lavish ballroom in the palace of the good queen of the kingdom of Ness. Around you are the 30 or so other auditioners for the Gladiators Gauntlet. Descending the staircase, you see the 11 sponsors for this year's event. The sponsorship gala has started. The other auditioners crowd forward, seeking to impress the sponsors and score a deal with one of them, thus securing a coveted spot in this season's gauntlet. Zan and Max, the last sponsor to enter the ballroom, has lowered her sunglasses to leer down at you. Her name was announced as Pride of Breda. She's wearing a green scaled coat, a black bodysuit, and thigh-high boots with a dagger strapped to each leg. Her silver skin glitters in the light of the crystal chandeliers, but all of this fades away as you see her eyes. They are the acid green eyes of the monster from the box. What do you do?
Zan freezes, full deer in headlights.
Fantastic.
Max is sort of trying and failing to hide behind Jasmin, just so that is not there's someone directly between him and her.
Jasmin just looks at him really confused. What are you? What's wrong?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Zan forgets that she has not revealed who she is to Max, and then just whips around and grabs Max by the collar and is like, shit.
Max, a tiefling has just grabbed you.
Hello?
Shit. Fuck.
You seem nice, but this is a little, intimate.
Should we hide? I don't know. Should we, well, she's already seen us, right? There's not like a,
Who are you trying to hide from?
Cody looks up, then has to lift the helmet that he's wearing up a little bit higher so he can see. And he's like, "What is wrong with y'all? What is going on?"
For anyone who forgot, Cody is wearing custom Voltron-inspired armor.
Zan, what's wrong?
Zan?
You usually don't need help talking.
Erica wraps her arm around Zan's shoulder and is like, I don't know who Zan is. Han here is gonna calm down and pats kind of the front of her shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the secret room of many things real quick. I'll be right back. Zan makes a lunge for the bathroom thing. Whatever this weird room full of stalls that people can do anything in that the creepy guy described to us.
Yeah. You spot a door that's swinging closed as someone leaves it, leading to a powder room. So you scuttle off in there.
I want to know if Zan actually crab walked away or if it was just colorful language.
Did you, Talia? Did Zan crab walk away?
As much as I want to yes and this, that I just don't know how I can. Zan was trying not to draw attention to herself, and I feel like crab walking out of the room is not a great way to go about doing that.
If she's fast at it, it's fine.
Wow, look at that weird crab.
She skitters away like some demon from a poltergeist movie. Great.
Wide crab.
Can we, legally speaking, put the crab rave under this part?
We'll look into that. Anyway, the four of you at this point are basically just standing in a clump by yourselves as every other auditioner has gone off to try to talk to one of the sponsors.
Can I look around the room and see where the other people are? Where the other competitors, auditioners are?
Yes. Make a perception check. Is there anyone in particular you're looking for? Because they're the only people in the room. It's 30 other auditioners and the 11 sponsors.
So it's just really a small party, huh?
It's a small party.
Okay, well, I was just kind of getting a lay of the land. I got a 16.
I think with that, you can easily clock where all of the sponsors are if you wanted to go and try to talk to one of them in particular. Pride has descended the staircase and kind of like disappeared into the crowd. She's the only one who you can't find as you look around. Everyone else is like pretty obvious because there's like a couple people near them being like, hello, hi, look at me. Basically, all of the other auditioners have surged into action, attempting to awe the sponsors. On the dance floor, there's like this scrawny looking orc man who's juggling flaming torches as Azriel, the heavily veiled professor, just kind of stands there and like nods at him. There's orchestral music playing from somewhere, and you actually have to step back out of the way as a stony-faced ink on fresh newspaper waltzes by with Aurora, the pink tiefling pop star, who you can tell is trying to match his somber expression and suppress just giggling at him.
I think that Erica, seeing that ink on fresh newspaper is dancing with Aurora, is going to pull out her hurdy-gurdy and start trying to solo on top of the orchestra music.
Incredible. Give me a performance check, please.
That's a natural 20.
Yes! Holy shit! Yes!
Erica, you swing your hurdy-gurdy around. It is large and thin, similar in shape to maybe an electric cello, with a crank on one end. And you start to turn that crank, and this haunting, beautiful music comes out, just perfectly matching with the orchestral background music until you are the song. And the orchestra has changed to now match what you are playing. And every single other person in this room stops what they are doing to turn and just enjoy this music that you are playing. I will say with a natural 20, since this is a magical instrument and you are a bard, if you want to use the effect of this music for a particular persuasion or some sort of effect, you could inspire awe into everyone. You could make them very scared.
I think awe. Yeah, I think I would inspire awe in everyone and just kind of direct all attention towards me, like magically enhanced, not just by the music itself.
Everyone is staring. They have stopped talking. Aurora and Ink are no longer waltzing. Aurora has turned around. She's actually moved like very close and is like standing there, her little hands clasped together in front of you. And if she could have heart eyes in real life, she would be doing that.
I think that Erica kind of nods to the orchestra and brings the like music to a swell and then like on a final chord. And then just bows.
Everyone's applauding. There's just intense excitement. The other competitors are a mix of like, whoa, that was so cool. And like, oh my God, I'm never going to get a sponsor. Look at her.
Go, Erica, you're so good. This is your conductor now.
Yeah. And as soon as you're done, Aurora hooks her arm into yours. And she's like, oh my God, that was amazing. How did you do that? Where did you learn this? I want to know everything about this instrument. Would you do me the honor of a dance?
Erica blushes a little bit and says, yeah, sure.
Me,
wonderful.
and this hurdy-gurdy between us.
No, it goes on my back. Don't be silly.
It's very light. So she takes your hands and pulls you over to the dance floor, and the other auditioners eventually go back to also trying to talk to people. But yeah, she just kind of like leads you through this dance to what the orchestra is now playing. And she's just like beaming up at you. The spectral raven who was carrying the train from her like black lace ball gown is now perched on her shoulder and is giving you the stink eye. But Aurora says, hi, Erica, I'm Aurora. Any pronouns? I really liked your song at the audition. And I want to get to know more about you. Can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah. And Erica makes her face kind of go somber and say, it's really important to me that I win this competition. And then Erica is going to try to kind of start crying. I'm guessing a performance check.
Just suddenly,
That's a 12.
Okay, you scrunch up your face like real hard, and she's like, Are you okay? Do you need to use the small rooms?
No, it's just it's hard to talk about.
That makes like a ton of sense. Yeah, I get like super sad when I think about sad things.
Yeah. My mom was a painter and she died years ago, and unfortunately, and Erica holds her hand to her chest and says all of her paintings were in our manor and it burned to the ground.
No, the art.
So my wish is to bring back those paintings from the ashes of our home.
She is just lit up. She is like, that is so noble. Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, this makes such a good story. Everyone's going to love this. Yes, this is perfect. And she kind of like twirls you a little bit. Let's go talk details, and takes you over to one of the couches off to the side of the room and sits down with you and just talks to you more about sponsoring you.
As we walk away, I'm going to look over my shoulder and give 2 thumbs up to Cody and whoever is still around Cody.
Nice. I'm guessing Cody, Jasmin, and Max are just kind of standing there as an awkward, like 2 talls and a small trio.
Yeah, I'm like, good job. It's up to you guys now.
Cody goes to give you 2 thumbs up back, but all you just see are 2 lion faces open in his hands because you can't see his hands.
Jasmin looks like also incredibly odd and is just kind of like clapping.
Still clapping? Jasmin does the thing where everyone else stopped clapping.
Halfway between like clapping as applause and like clapping on the beat.
Beautiful.
I think Jasmin after this would try and like look around to see where AJ is and cautiously approach. But like if there are other people, she would probably do that thing where you're too scared to actually approach. So you're like standing 10 meters away and like hoping that they notice you.
Amazing. AJ is standing off to the side of this room, and she's kind of just like standing watching the crowd and kind of like looking out over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
No one seems to be approaching her. Actually, you do see a couple people approach and then walk away. Why don't you give me a perception check?
4 + 5, 9.
Yeah, you actually see this like very like sturdily built elven woman with her hair done up in this like fancy updo, like come up to AJ and like smile and kind of like lean on her for a minute, and they say something to each other, and you're like positive they're talking about how dumb you look, and then that elven lady walks away.
Yeah, that definitely would give Jasmin pause. And then she just stand there for probably a couple more minutes. And
just
then,
like 10 meters away from AJ.
Yep. Eventually, I think she would probably try to approach, but it's not courageous looking.
So as you go up to her, AJ looks at you and then does like a double take. Oh, I see you got a gown.
Yes, it's kind of a lot, huh?
It's I mean, it's incredible.
It's very nice. I'm just it's kind of just it's really impressive, but it's just kind of a lot, and I feel like people are looking at me, and
she smiles. I mean, you know what you're getting into, right? A lot of people are going to look at you.
Yeah, I know, but it's I don't really know what my friends are planning, but I figure it's important. So I want to help.
AJ nods and looks like she's like thinking about something, and you see her like turn and like scan the room. Why don't we take a walk out in the gardens? And she like extends an elbow to you to like take her arm.
Looks at it for like a solid 3 seconds. Like, oh, and then we'll take it.
She leads you out the huge arching balcony doors along the far end of the room out into the gardens, which are lit not by lanterns, but they seem to be lit by the plants themselves. There's a lot of bioluminescent flowers or mushrooms like lining the paths that wind through it.
Pretty.
As you step outside, you actually see ink on fresh newspaper and Azrael standing out on the veranda talking to each other quietly, but AJ leads you past them and like into the gardens themselves. And when you are at least a little bit out of sight of the rest of the building, she says, there aren't many places where it's truly safe to talk. The gardens are pretty good just because not many people are allowed out here. And so I think the queen doesn't invest a lot of time trying to put her reach out here. I'm sorry for not explaining everything to you sooner. I feel like I'm kind of dragging you into something that you don't want, or like you don't have to, like it's a lot of, and she seems to be like struggling a lot to find words.
No. Jasmin reaches out and puts like a hand on AJ's arm. It's like it's okay. I mean, I can't say I haven't regretted it a lot since I did it, but I chose to try again and reveal myself at the pre-gauntlet selection gauntlet, that thing. When I originally failed, it was kind of a relief, and I thought, oh, okay, I can just go back to not being paid attention to, but I also didn't want to get left alone by my friends, and if I can help them, that would be nice.
You're very brave.
Really, you don't have to make fun of me.
No, I think one of the bravest things you can do is to reveal a part of yourself that you know other people are scared of or don't understand. And to that in front of everyone. And I know it's not my place, but I hope you don't actually want to wish to be cured, because I don't think you have anything that needs.
No, I just said that because I thought it would be interesting.
It's a good choice.
I was told to make it good, so I tried. I like being animals. I don't know if there's a shifting, I guess. It's interesting, and I get to feel what it's like to be them for a minute, and I'm still myself, but also not. There's different thought patterns, and for a moment it's a lot easier to ignore a lot of just anxiety and fear and stress and experience new things. And I'm not going to say that I'm not a little worried about apparently exploding, but
AJ nods as you're saying this, and she says, I know what it's like to want to be somebody else or something else.
What? Why?
Oh,
You're
I mean,
I mean, you know.
growing up in a palace isn't all it's cracked up to be. I think that shit, what was I gonna say? Alice really threw me off with that. Listen, gay, brain empty. I had important plot things to say, probably.
Who needs plot when gay?
Fuck me. She like gives a big sigh and says, a lot of the information that my mother puts out isn't true. And I know that's treasonous to say, but I believe, and I don't think this is naive, but I do believe that people in our kingdom know that at some level. And if we're able to subvert and expose some of those lies, then I don't think that acceptance will be that far behind. I mean, it'll take work, and it'll never excuse the way that people have treated you or anything like that. But I believe that we can make the kingdom and hopefully beyond that a more accepting place. And I think shifting suits you. So AJ walks with you around the gardens and fills you in on the plan. How there's a resistance and that your friends are working with them, and the plan is to have one of you win the gauntlet, get close to the queen, and hopefully take her crown.
Yeah. Jasmin is very obviously terrified, but she's listening intently.
At some point in that, Cody's just he's gonna be aware when Jasmin has walked off and disappeared, and he's just gonna try to find her just to see where she is.
Make a perception check.
5 + 5, 10.
You see them go outside.
Okay.
So you wander out onto the veranda, and there's some gardens, and you're like, probably this path. You wander down a path, and then you are completely lost. You try to backtrack, and you end up in the same spot that you were at before. There's like this weird bubbling like fountain out here, but the water coming out of it is all like black and opaque and kind of creepy.
Don't like this.
I don't like that either.
What is the fountain?
Jasmin, why did you come out here? This is a bad choice. Now I'm lost.
Eh? Who's out here? What are you doing?
Bushes, are you talking?
Someone like shuffles out of the bushes, and you see it is Osden. They like,
what are you doing in the bushes?
The wizard with the ratty old robes. And he is like, I'm looking for ingredients. They only keep some of the special things out here. Do you want to help me look? If you find a mushroom, but it's got eyes on it, and then just kind of pluck it out of the ground.
Does it move? I have a little experience.
Oh,
okay.
It doesn't move. It just looks at you like you're, I don't know.
Okay.
Displeasing it.
And so Cody's gonna look around, literally like looking through the grass, chomping his lion hands, like trying to like to touch the grass.
Make an investigation check.
11 + 3, 14.
Osden is like completely ignoring you, and he's just like rummaging around in the bushes. So you go to like another patch of bushes, and you're clomping around, I guess, cutting some of the grass with your lion hands. But then you see a little mushroom with these like big watery eyes staring up at you.
Found one!
Oh, okay.
Found it!
Let me see. And he like comes over and kind of like shuffles you out of the way and is like, there you are, you little fucker. And then like takes a bag and like does like a dog bag thing where you like turn it inside out, but it's like a velvety silk bag, and then like picks up the mushroom and you hear it go, ah, and then he ties off the bag and puts it in his pocket, and he was like, all right, good day's work done. Probably should get home now. I was here for something else, wasn't I?
Hey, weren't you the dude that like teleported down the stairs earlier?
Probably. That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, sometimes I want to fly instead of walking. It seems easier too. I get it.
Yeah. Why are you encased in metal? Is this some sort of skeleton made of metal coming out of your body?
They said to look cool.
Which head is your real head? You have so many.
Cody tries to lift the face that his face is inside. Like this one. And Cody starts trying to like, actually poking his lion hands at his actual skin, being like, the skin part, this is me.
The flesh boy on the inside.
Yeah,
Don't say flesh boy.
All right, fine. Oh, I remember you. Little whippersnapper with the tricks and the magic at the show.
Yeah.
You know what? You remind me of my grandson. At least I think he was my grandson. Nice kid. Too many ears. What were we talking about?
Too many ears?
Well, okay. We started with bushes, then mushrooms, then faces. That's what I followed so far in the conversation.
All right, yeah, that seems about on par for what I usually talk about. I think I was going to go home. Sounds right.
That does sound nice. It's been a long day. They tell me I'm supposed to be here to make friends and like
Make friends. No one makes friends at this place.
Well, but I was supposed to find somebody
Listen,
who wanted to be
I have been sponsoring this shit show for almost 3 decades. Bet that's older than you. How old are you? What are you, 25?
I'm 12.
Ah, okay, same thing. But anyway, this event is not for making friends. It is for explosions and showmanship and sometimes jumping very high. Listen, I don't pay that much attention.
Well, I mean, I can do those things too. Also, I think you can make friends and do those things.
Oh.
I think it's possible.
Huh.
But
listen, you've got a lot of spirit in there. You know what? Wait, one more question. Do you know how to work a gravity reversal cannon?
I can fly. Cody kind of shrugs, and you just hear the armor all kind of just crinkle as he just kind of shrugs.
Don't worry about it. It only works half the time anyway. All right, you're hired.
I mean, okay. I was going to ask what that was, but okay.
This is great. I'm going to go take a nap in that bush over there. Come get me when the event's done.
Okay.
Kind of like shuffles away and into some bushes. Do you know your way out of here?
Cody will tap on his helmet and turn the lion's lights eyes on, and he's like, I'll use these to help figure out where I'm supposed to go.
All right, smart boy. All right. Good night.
Bye. Cody, with his new headlamps, tries to find his way back.
Great. Make a perception check at advantage.
I don't think you told us you had the eyes working.
A lot of it lights up.
23 is the highest.
The fucking image of you going through the grass with the lion faces for hands is so funny.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Perfect.
Whenever Jasmin walked away to go talk to AJ and then Cody wandered off, he's just kind of standing there for a little while, just looking around nervously. I assume there's some sort of buffet table around here.
Uh-huh. Big buffet table. Lots of weird foods.
Max he walked down the whole thing and grabbed a whole bunch of stuff on the biggest plate he could find. And now he's just standing at one end of it, eating food and looking around nervously.
Make just a straight D20 roll.
God, what a mood.
That's a 20.
20. All right. As you're eating, you're like taking a bite of one thing and then a bite of another. And these are like some flavors that you would kind of recognize, but others that are just like completely new to you. So you're trying like a whole bunch of different things. And as you are trying them, for a second, you feel yourself just start floating like a couple inches off the ground. But you're so eager to try the next thing that you take a bite of that and you blink and the room turns from like bright daylight to like smoky, like ethereal looking shine to everything and everybody in the room. But the next item of food looks really good. So you take a bite of that and you grow 3 inches and your skin is kind of like glowing very faintly. You now have advantage on persuasion checks.
Oh, interesting.
And you feel satiated by the food that you ate also. So glad you rolled a nat 20 on that. As you are chowing down, one of the sponsors actually kind of like disentangles herself from the people who are talking to her and stomps over to you. It is the like round-faced elven woman with like big ringlets of curls and this like huge ball gown. And you recognize her as Jazz, one of the sponsors. She comes right up to you and she says, Are you taller than last time? Oh my God, you're beautiful. You don't even have to say anything. And she just starts like picking up your arms and kind of like inspecting your sides and like turns you around so she can look at your back. And she's like, yes, perfect. Yes, good. Let me check that. Yes. Okay, great. And turns you back around and she's like, do you say things? What are your teeth like? Give me a smile.
hi? And he gives like a very nervous smile.
Oh, just beautiful teeth. Oh my God. Okay. And how many things can you lift? A lot of things?
Yeah, a lot of things.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. And let's see, you're at least this tall. Okay. And then shoulder breadth. And she kind of like measures your shoulder width with her hands and then looks at it and she's like, okay, perfect. Yes. Oh my gosh. I think this is going to work great. Yes. All right. I'll sponsor you.
Oh, okay. I thought that would take a little longer.
What is happening?
Great.
She like leans in and like presses her whole face against your abs and is like, yes, this is a good decision.
Max just kind of like looks down and pats her on the top of the head.
Wow, so comforting. This is better than I could have ever expected this to go. All right, well. And then she like claps her little hands together and she's like, do something neat. Wow, brain's so empty. Perfect. Okay. Take your time.
He's going to tell her to put her hands together, and then he's going to grab both of her hands with one hand and lift her up.
Okay, make a strength check.
Oh.
Fucking strength 23.
Don't eat the sponsor.
You easily just lift her in the air. Her big dress is just like floofing all over the place. And you see her like dainty little feet sticking out the bottom. And she's like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, great. Yes, you did something neat. I'm very proud of you. Oh, good boy. What was your name again?
Max.
Max. I can't remember that. What a strange name. All right. Yes. Okay, good. Come stand over here where I can look at you better. She like positions you so you're standing under a chandelier and you look very pretty. And then she just kind of sits down on a couch and looks at you.
Okay.
So Zan, you've made your way into this room that leads to many small rooms. Inside there's like this big round couch upholstered with gold and blood red fabric. The sinks are gilded and the mirrors are huge. There's like so many like full length mirrors just like reflecting your own tiefling image back at you. There's a number of open stalls and the room is bordered by some dark alcoves with cushioned seats that look out over the twinkling lights of the city. The room seems empty, which makes sense given that everyone else is desperately trying to secure a sponsor.
Zan goes up to one of the mirrors and like looks at it and looks at herself and looks at what she looks like as a tiefling and just sort of like takes a big shuddering breath and then just sort of laughs in this sort of like awkward, nervous laughter, and then like takes a deep breath and goes and like turns on one of the sinks and sort of splashes a little water on her face, and then just like leans up against the wall, takes a breath, and then makes to go back out the door.
Hello. You hear a voice come out of one of the dark alcoves. You are choosing a strange place to look for sponsors. You need a little something extra, a little bit of an advantage for the competition?
From you?
A figure leans out of one of the dark alcoves and into the light. You see a squat dragonborn with dark blue scales wearing what looks like a velvet purple suit that looks like 2 sizes too big and is kind of hanging off of them. And you recognize one of the sponsors. This is Marbles, she or they, who you saw up in the sponsor section at the tryouts.
You're one of the sponsors, right? What are you doing in here?
Yes, I am. Sometimes Marbles needs to watch the other sponsors for a little bit and see what they're going to do. Also, sometimes people need a little boost to their confidence.
Seems like a weird thing to do as a sponsor, offer boosts to people's confidence. I mean, aren't you trying to figure out who, I don't know, doesn't need boosts of confidence?
Maybe I won't sponsor you if you buy one of my potions, but maybe another sponsor will.
What kind of a... This is sketchy as hell, though.
Hey, kid, want to buy some
You're
drugs?
selling potions out of the powder room of this ball.
Marbles doesn't like big open spaces.
Why are you a sponsor for this then? Seems like it's not really your scene.
Oh. Well, if sponsor's contestant wins the gauntlet, sponsor gets lots of money. Marbles needs to sponsor someone who will win. Get lots of shiny coins if Marbles' competitor wins the gauntlet.
Oh, wait a minute.
Trinket?
No, Marbles.
Okay.
Name is Marbles.
You sure?
Yes. I said, look at face, this lizard face. Trinket is bird.
Okay.
This lizard.
I'll see you know Trinket.
No? Yes. Everyone knows Trinket. Trinket's very smart and good at business.
I don't know. I never really liked Trinket that much.
Do you want to buy a potion or not?
What kind of potions you got?
I got charismatic potions. Give you a boost, make you more charismatic. And they like open their purple velvet suit and like pull a potion out, and it's like this shiny gold little potion.
How much are you?
5 gold.
All right.
Okay, here you go. Give me 5 gold. Thank you.
We do the swap.
They're like, thank you for business. Come back anytime. Refer your friends.
Do you want me to send people your way?
Yes, please. That would be very helpful. Trying to sell lots of potions. I'm Marbles.
All right. Bye, Marbles.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh my god.
It dawned on me halfway through that scene. I was like, oh.
Sam leaves the powder room feeling sort of laughing.
Great. Just mark down that you spent 5 gold.
Oh my god, my face hurts.
Well, hello and welcome to Dice Disasters. This is the part of the show where we stop pretending to be other people and start pretending to be ourselves. With me today, I have Talia. Hello, Talia.
Hi, it's me. I'm here.
Hi.
And I'm Talia.
How are you doing today?
Hang on. You know what, Alan?
Yes?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I've got to silence my Tamagotchi. Hang on.
The Tamagotchi. Hey, Talia?
Yeah?
Did we hit like a time hole? Did you fall back into the 90s?
No, but I did fall back into a box of my old stuff, and also I'm living on my own right now, and I needed somebody to keep me company. And I regret saying somebody already because it's not a person, but I did name it Cody.
Oh, that's adorable.
Cody became a little plant monster with a tail and has a son now.
Oh, wow.
It went fast. Cody is 7 days old.
Well, I mean, please take care of Cody.
I will. Yes.
I suddenly have a desire to also care about your Tamagotchi.
I mean, soon Cody will die, and then it'll be on to Cody Jr., the sequel.
Oh, no.
Listen, they have a very short lifespan, and I probably shouldn't have named it Cody.
The sequel? Okay. What if our culture viewed children as sequels? and that puts a whole new life to the sequel is never as good as the original.
God. Hello, this is actually my son, the prequel, Talia the prequel.
Oh no. I don't
ask how that works.
I don't like the implications of this. So I'm gonna move on to the
I don't even know the implications of that. Hey Alan, what's going on in the podcast right now?
Well, right now we're in the mid-roll. This is the break part. This is not us role playing. Did you think we were role playing?
No, this is Zan's Tamagotchi Cody.
Whoa, okay. Things were changing. I didn't even know you had a Tamagotchi. Where'd you get the batteries? Couldn't we use the batteries for other things?
Zan's had a Tamagotchi the entire time, and several battery changes. It's in my character notes.
Oh, wow. Okay. We are in the mid-roll, so welcome Zan to the mid-roll.
Sorry.
Glad to hear about your Tamagotchis.
Oh, hey, Alan.
Yeah?
Alan, it's me, Talia.
Oh, Talia, you're here.
I also have to turn off my Tamagotchi. Hang on. All right.
Well, everyone, thanks for listening to us idiots sitting here talking about random crap. We hope you enjoy the episode. We don't have much updates today, but one thing that is exciting is we do have an NPC coming up named for one of our listeners.
Yes, that would be Guinevere, who you haven't met yet. And that would be named for a supporter on Tumblr, who I'm just realizing has an incredible username, which is Guinevere on Tumblr.
That is very good.
It's very good, is the thing. That's the only NPC that we have that's new. There's a lot of NPCs, but you've all met them before.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you, Guinevere, for listening and sharing. Thanks, everyone else who's been listening and sharing. If you want to maybe get an NPC named after you, please share the show on social media using the hashtag Dice Disasters.
Yes.
Or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we look at all of it. We appreciate all of it. We love all of it. And we send it to everybody else on the podcast whenever we find it.
Absolutely. It's so great. Well, anyways, we'll let you get back to the episode and the story. Hope you're having a great week. And just a reminder, our new schedule next week is our week off. So there won't be a new episode next week. And so we'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 32.
We'll miss you.
Yeah, have a great time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, you re-enter the ballroom with everybody else. What do you do?
I'm going to return to the spot where everybody else was, and then upon seeing that none of them are there anymore.
Well, Max is sort of there. Max is just sort of standing under a chandelier off to the side, just kind of looking around, posing.
Looking pretty.
Yeah, Jazz is taking you through a number of different poses, and she has a notebook out. Is taking notes.
I think Erica says, Aurora, excuse me 1 second, and then does finger guns at Zan.
You now have a bardic inspiration.
No, those are just regular finger guns.
Since you were with the Resistance over this past week, you know who all of the sponsors are. So if there's anyone that you are looking for, let me know and I can just tell you where they are in my mindscape.
I am going to look for Guinevere. We haven't seen a lot of yet.
Great. Guinevere, she, or any pronouns. I don't think you have seen her at all. You probably noticed her once as you were like kind of looking at the sponsors in the special seating area during the tryouts. And so you make your way through the crowd trying to remember what she looked like. And as you are passing like between some people, a cat-faced woman wearing this just like nylon and plasticky looking extravagant outfit stops you and says, "Oh, this one has potential." And from behind her pops out an identical cat-faced woman who is like, "Ooh, Tigress, yes, this one could do a lot for us." And you are accosted by Tigress and Lynx, two of the very fashion-forward sponsors.
Dan takes a deep breath and then sort of like puts a smile on her face and turns around and is like, "Oh, hello."
Did you drink the potion?
We never actually established what we knew about the potion, and I sort of forgot about it instantly.
Trinket said it. I mean, Marbles said that it would increase your charisma.
Yeah, let's say I drank it.
Oh, yeah. You slam that potion. You can just temporarily increase your charisma by 5.
Oh, shit. Nice.
5?
5 for 1 hour.
That is many.
So Tigress and Lynx start pinching your arms. They lift up your arms and pull out this measuring tape that by itself just seems to start like snapping measurements that a tailor would need. And they're just kind of like murmuring to each other in these like quiet rumbles that you can't quite make out. Just like pinching your arms or like tugging at your legs to be like, "Oh, this muscle's good. Okay. Yes. Passable bone structure. We could do a lot with this. Veritable blank slate." They stop and like lean on each other in this like very dramatic like model pose and look at you and they say, "So, what do you bring to the table?" "Oh, not very talkative. That's definitely a down point. But I mean, we can write things for you to say. Can you hit stuff? Can you do cool flips?"
I can hit stuff. Good at walking, talking, looking around.
Interesting.
Look, I came here because I have a goal, and I might not be so specifically inclined towards anything particular, but I do consider myself very well rounded, although not in the figural sense.
Yes, definitely not that.
Well, what I lack in figure, I do make up for in abilities in a lot of different areas. I know a lot about survival and
Sorry.
2-time participant in Naked and Afraid.
Oh, survive like outside?
I mean, you can survive anywhere.
That is true. Can you survive on a runway?
Only one way to find out.
Yes.
Only runway to find out.
Why don't you do a turn for us? And Lynx kind of like gestures with her hand, and a like glowing ethereal catwalk appears cutting through the crowd. Tigress is like, go ahead, give us a turn. Go on, show your stuff.
Zan walks as carefully as she can, with as much swagger as she can, and turns and sort of strikes a pose and then walks back.
Okay, great. Give me a performance check.
Tries not to laugh. Oh, which of my dice hasn't betrayed me most recently? A 23.
Holy shit. They just start clapping and they're like, oh my God, that's such a good way to do it. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I think we can work with this. I think we can work with this too. And as you like come back down and the catwalk disappears, the two of them are like, okay, we are going to keep you on our short list. And I just like, I can't see how, I mean, that was a very good walk on the catwalk. I don't know how. And then they like look over your shoulder and they're like, oh, it's just like her, but bigger. And they both kind of like push you away and walk off into the crowd. Do you turn around?
I think I know what I'm gonna see, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is Tallulah also wearing the same outfit as me and Max?
You turn and see them swarming Tallulah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The burgundy tiefling, who is at least like 6 inches to a foot taller than Zan. She is wearing not the same thing, but a very like well-tailored suit, like a 3-piece suit with a vest, and the cat-faced twins are just like touching her all over. The measuring tape is just like flying at top speed, like measuring everything. Tigress is squeezing one of her biceps. Lynx is like unbuttoning the bottom of her shirt to look at her abs and is like, oh my God, can you get a load of these? The other one didn't have these. And they're like, yes, this is the canvas that we need.
I think Zan is just like, yeah, okay. But then tries to like catch Tallulah's eye and give like a sympathetic look.
Tallulah looks at you and she's like, you can tell in her eyes, she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's rough, huh? All right, yeah, and then Zan's gonna sort of, I guess, fall back into the crowd and look around.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Can I just make like a perception check to see what the vibes are around me? Because like I know,
yeah,
like a lot of the sponsors have clearly sort of like walked off and like are talking with people, but dirty 20.
Yeah, so you can see that all of your friends, except Jasmin, who's gone, but you know that AJ was going to sponsor Jasmin, all of them, no, wait, you can't see what happened with Cody. Cody is, I imagine, at the buffet eating stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's levitating, like 8 inches off of the ground, just slowly rotating. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. But you do find Guinevere. Guinevere uses any pronouns. They are a tortle, a large anthropomorphic tortoise with a round face and soft eyes. You know from Erica's notes that they are a famous chef from the Palatial Mountains. And now that you are no longer being accosted by fashion designers, you can easily find them off to the side of the room talking to this small, furry woman who's like nodding as Guinevere talks and then kind of like wanders away.
I'm gonna approach Guinevere. Say, hello. I don't think I've met you yet. I'm Han Solo. She, her.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Han. And like extends like a big reptile hand.
I shake the hand.
Are you enjoying the festivities?
Well, it is a lot sometimes, isn't it? Just all so much.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of being indoors. I spend most of my time out in the growth. That's where I feel, most at peace.
I totally get that. I it's just so stifling in here, isn't it?
That's the word. Yes, stifling. I specialize in rare foods with dangerous ingredients, so I spend at least half my time out in the growth discovering new creatures or plants to cook, and the other half refining flavors in the kitchen. But my kitchen at least is an outdoor thing up in the mountains.
That sounds wonderful.
It is.
What kind of food do you like? There's so many kinds of amazing cuisines, but like if you're specializing in ingredients, do you sort of take the exotic ingredients and do sort of more familiar things, or do you just go all out?
Make a persuasion check for me.
That's another dirty 20.
She's like nodding as you talk and is like, oh, I think it really just depends on what the ingredients tell me, like you can take the same ingredients and make 30 different dishes that all taste and feel different. I like to experiment and try different things and new things, but a lot of experimentation comes from taking ideas that have already been tried and tested and then tweaking them. So I take a lot of influence from Vanardrian cooking, the cities up in the Palatial Mountains, because they use these very interesting tree coilers that twist and turn and make all of these different sorts of textures in food.
Wow. It's all like chemistry. It's all science, and isn't
Exactly. Tell me, what do you think is the most dangerous monster? The most dangerous creature?
Probably like a giant snake person.
Max runs up, pulls Riddle Me Baby out of Zan's bag, says, This.
Guinevere actually lights up when you say that. Dear, you don't know how many people I have asked that who have given me answers like ignorance, or humans, or the ways that we as in a society can twist and tear at each other. But you are correct. These monsters from the other plane are more dangerous than creatures like you and I could ever understand. They are more than monsters. They are more like gods from our stories of old. And the ways that they care, or more frighteningly don't care, about our well-being is more terrifying than any creature I have met out in the growth.
Zan itches at her neck nervously. So, you have a lot of experience with these creatures then?
More than I should have had, given that I am still alive and talking to you. And she kind of like turns to the side and points one of her big turtle hands at her shell, and you can see there's like a large crack that runs across it. This is from my last run-in with one of those creatures from the other plane. If I had not asked for help from the people who were passing by, and if they had not risked their lives to help me get away, I would not be here talking to you right now.
Oh gosh. When did this happen?
Oh, this is an old one. Perhaps 50 or so years ago.
So how do you keep coming in contact with these dangerous creatures?
I think it's a lot of just throwing myself into dangerous situations over and over again. When I was younger, I had a lot of, I think it was fear that manifested in a way that made me just throw myself on the blade again and again. But as I have grown older, I've grown a little wiser and more careful. And, if you put yourself in situations that are dangerous, then dangerous things happen to you. I think you've got a good head on your shoulders, little one. I do have a few more people to talk to, but if you're willing, I think I would like to sponsor you in the Gladiator's Gauntlet.
That would be wonderful.
Great. Okay, well, I will see you again soon, Han Solo.
And then they shove you aside and see Tallulah.
It's like you, but hotter.
Also, 50 years, huh?
That means that's not my fault.
Last time I checked, 50 is greater than 5.
What?
We haven't heard anyone talk about the before times.
This
since we
turtle
got
just
here.
broke the fucking law.
Yeah.
Turtle broke the law. She dangerous.
Broke the law. Oh, shit.
Then she also says, ACAB.
Turtle says ACAB.
Yeah, she says also, fuck cops. Fuck cops. Fuck all cops. Okay, Zan, could you make another perception check for me?
I'm gonna keep using this die.
Yeah, it's going well.
Aw.
Aww.
It's a 10.
You catch a glimpse of Green in the crowd, and you see Pride shove a couple people out of the way to walk across the room. You see her walk past a server who's balancing glasses of champagne on their tray, and the server just trips and the glasses on their tray go crashing down onto the floor. People jerk back out of the way. You see that it's Seymour the Brave, the blue-haired, handlebar-mustached sponsor that you saw at the gala, scoffs in disdain at this server who has tripped. Oh, no! And jerks backward and jumps onto the nearest table, sending food flying. And he's like, there's vermin in here! Catch those vile things!
Can I make another perception check?
Yeah, why don't you?
All right, well, that's a 12, so I don't see fuck all.
Yeah, you kind of like look back and forth trying to figure out what he's so scared of. You see a couple of the other auditioners go like, oh no, oh no, it's on my foot, and start like backing away. And as they're backing up, they like kind of bump into you and jostle you backwards. As you step backwards as well, you bump into somebody.
Oh, sorry. I turn around, look at who I bumped into.
Well, what are you doing here, little pet? And you have bumped into Pride of Breda. She has her sunglasses propped up on the top of her head, and so you're just staring full into those bright green eyes. She gives you a feral grin.
Just, trying to get a sponsor for the gauntlet.
I saw that. How's it going?
Great. It's going great. Yeah. Super.
Oh, it is? Is it?
Yeah. Think I got one in the bag.
How interesting.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I wanted to see what you were up to. This world is so strange. I cut a man open on the streets and a hoard of gold fell out of him. So I thought I would check in on you and on your little mortal games.
You what?
I needed some gold to come play with you.
Okay. Seems like you would have, better things to do than this whole thing of pretending to be a sponsor or whatever.
Really? What kind of things should I try, little pet?
I don't know. Have you tried, aromatherapy or something fun like that?
Oh, Interesting. I will look into that.
Baseball.
The mess on the floor that the server made has been magicked away, and at this point, a new server is approaching holding another tray of champagne flutes. Pride reaches out her hand towards the server. What do you do?
I mean, it's not like
Nothing is a valid answer. Just stand there frozen is a valid answer.
before you said that Pride reached out a hand, I was going to say that Zan grabs a flute of champagne and starts to chug it.
Oh, perfect. Make a dexterity check.
That's a dirty 20 again.
Yeah, you pluck a champagne glass off of this tray as Pride's hand extends to do the same thing. And she looks at you and raises her glass and clinks it against yours. To your success in whatever it is you're trying to do here. And she tips her head back, drains the whole glass in one easy swallow. She then tosses her empty glass over the crowd, and you hear it shatter off in the distance. Ow!
Shouldn't have done that.
She grabs your chin and leans forward and puts her lips very close to your ear.
Close.
I'm your sponsor, little pet. She pulls back and smiles at you and then walks away. You can hear a commotion building on the other end of the crowd. Someone is shouting, "Get the healers! Something's wrong! Something's wrong! My magic won't work!"
Uh-oh. I'm gonna go investigate that.
Well, she really hit Max with that glass hard.
It's off a little bit to the side of where the glass was. You see Jazz just with a handkerchief out, blotting bits of glass off of Max's armor, and is like, "Oh my God, how could this ever happen? Oh my God, we have to get this off now. You need to be perfect. Perfect." But you see that the other auditioners have kind of clustered around where you heard the commotion coming from. There's a young man with this big fluffy dog tail who's crouched down, leaning over a collapsed figure. And as you get closer, you see the figure is scaled with a large shell and not moving.
Oh no. I'm gonna go up, sort of push through as best I can.
Make a athletics check.
Oh, good. One of those. That's a 14.
14. Yeah, you try to push people out of the way. It takes you a little while, and as you get there, there's already two guards in golden armor who are coming over. You see ink on fresh newspaper there, who turns to one of the guards and says, "She's been poisoned or something." The guards start trying to lift her onto the stretcher. It ends up they have to call more guards over, 5 of them, because she's this hulking tortoise. There's this elven man in these gray robes that you recognize as healer's robes from your time in Fell's Keep, who's channeling magic into Guinevere over and over. It's not working. I don't, come on, we have to get her the rest of the healers. This doesn't make any sense.
Can I give it a try? I've got a heal that's it's sort of my magic's always been good on people who are resistant to magic.
The healer looks at the guards who are just doing their vacant-eyed stare, and he's like, I don't know. Yeah, just try it.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Hope this works. All right, I put a hand on Guinevere's shoulder. That's just 4 points.
You see Guinevere's eyelids twitch, and she opens her eyes just a little and goes, "Oh no." And then she turns her head, and you can see it's taking a lot of effort. And along her reptilian neck, you see these veins of bright green tracing along her skin. And she looks at you and she says, "You need to be very careful." And then her eyes flutter closed again, and the healer said, "Okay, if that did something, then I know somebody who can help her. Okay, let's go. And starts shepherding the guards out of the gala with Guinevere on the stretcher.
Shit. Zan is gonna just run out into the garden.
Oh, okay, great.
Thoroughly freaked out.
Yeah, you run outside. I imagine you crash into AJ, who's making her way back inside to try to figure out what all of this commotion was. And she like bumps into you and is like, oh, excuse me. Oh, Zan, what happened?
Hi. There's somebody got hurt. And then Zan's gonna like, sorry, excuse me. And then like run past her into the garden.
Yeah, in the same moment, she is also pushing past you and runs inside. You do find Jasmin, though.
Yeah, I think Jasmin's probably in a clearing. Maybe she's like sitting on the edge of a fountain. What time of day is it, Oliver?
Evening. Late evening.
Her face is a little darker than normal. But she's reached into a pocket and is looking at a piece of paper.
Oh, hey, Jasmin. How are you doing?
Hey, what? What's wrong?
Oh, it's just, it's just somebody had an accident and that, some broken glass. What you got there?
Oh, it's a piece of paper that AJ gave me.
Her number?
What? Why would she? She doesn't even have a phone. Why would she give me her number?
I don't know.
Symbolic.
It's just like a thing that just what does it have on it?
This is just my favorite number.
It just says 7.
6. It's 6. It's like, I get top pick of numbers as the heir to the throne. My choice of favorite number.
Is this the piece of paper that Cody sent?
Yes.
Well, in your hand, you hold a small piece of paper and you instantly recognize what it is. It's a Codymon card, but not one that you've seen before. And as someone who's seen many of Cody's drawings, you can tell that he put a lot more effort into this one. Maybe he went really slow or drew it over and over again until he got it the way he wanted. This little creature, a gray and brown bird with wavy teal accents, is in mid-attack. And at the end of its long neck, you see its face, eyes focused dead ahead, filled with all the righteous determination it can muster, aired squamely at whatever enemy ran afoul of it. I had to put one in. It's for Alice. Gotta put a pun in there, right?
Thank you.
But if you had any question about what exactly you were looking at, it all becomes clear the moment your eyes land on the name written in all caps across the top. In your hand, you have the card for Codymon number 16, Goost.
Aww.
And right beneath the drawing, in an empty space on the card, you see 3 words that are clearly hastily scribbled. You got this.
Yeah, Jasmin looks at the card and just has like breaking through the like worry in her face, just like a little smile, and she says, "That's I." Puts it in a pocket. Sam, do you want to sit here next to me for a bit?
Yes, please.
You look like you could use a break.
Yeah, I should. I'm just gonna. Yeah. It's a lot in there.
I will say that given the commotion, Erica, Cody, and Max, you know where Zan went if you wanted to try to follow her. You also know where each other are if you want to talk to each other.
I mean, Cody was plenty entertained by levitating from the food he'd been eating. It was nice because the armor sagged just a little bit less. Once he's come back down to the ground, he's going to be looking for his friends. Go back out and try to find them again. Hey everybody. Hi. I think I got a sponsor. I'm supposed to say hello to him before I leave.
Cool.
Oh, but who is it?
It's no guy I met in the bushes.
Are you sure
he's
safe?
a sponsor?
No, he came in early. Like he teleported. He was one of the sponsors. He was looking for mushrooms, and I helped him find one. It had eyes.
None of this is making me any less concerned.
Did he eat them?
Well, he's one of the sponsors. And
did you eat them?
No, he just took it.
Okay,
it's fine. It'll be good. Did y'all have any good luck?
Yeah. AJ is gonna sponsor me.
Cool.
Well, that's what they're calling it now.
What? I don't get what you're hinting at.
You don't?
I don't.
I definitely don't.
I'm not gonna say it. I mean, I guess you'll get there eventually. I don't want to be the one to give you this talk. It's like
Does she hate me?
when two people like each other very much,
Right.
sometimes they smush their faces onto each other.
Oh. No, that's not the situation. That's Do you need to find your sponsor, Cody?
Yeah, I probably should. Everything. I mean, after that, what just happened inside? People seem to be wanting to leave pretty fast. So, yeah, I guess I'll go find him real quick.
Okay, I'll help you.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Just kind of runs off with Cody, I guess.
Zen's just gonna sit there and feel guilty.
An announcer's voice rings out, echoing through the ballroom and the gardens. The sponsors have all claimed their contestants for the 82nd Summer's Gladiators Gauntlet. Those of you who were not chosen, please exit promptly. For those of you inside, I think just Erica and Max, you see Queen's Guard escort the other prisoners and unchosen auditioners out of the ballroom. The rest of the people seem to be lining up in a row side by side with their sponsor, facing a raised balcony up on the wall of one of the sides of the ballroom. All sponsored contestants, please make your way to the ballroom.
I guess we've probably been ushered inside at this point then?
Yes. Zan might be hard to find. Zan, do you go inside or do you just kind of hide in the garden?
I don't think, can I hear these announcements in the garden?
You can.
Yeah, Zan's gonna hide in the garden.
Perfect. You feel a tingle on the back of your neck and a ripping, like the sound of paper being torn in half. And then a hand reaches out and grabs the back of your shirt, and you are pulled backwards off of the stone bench you're sitting on. You fall through a gray space. It is dull and foggy, and you hear faintly the sound of screaming in the distance. And then another rip, and you land in a heap on the floor of the ballroom at the booted feet of Pride of Breda, who smiles down at you. I found mine. Austin Grumblow, would you please come back to the ballroom? Austin! Austin! And then a pop! And standing next to Cody is the wizard in the old ratty robes who's like, yeah, I'm here. God, can't get a moment to sleep. And he's like picking leaves out of his hair.
Cody will cast a mage hand and help him pick leaves out of his hair.
Oh, thank you. What a good young man you are. Okay, what are we doing again? He's kind of like turning on the spot.
I don't know.
Okay, good. Me neither. This'll be fine. Announcing her most royal, exalted highness, bringer of peace and prosperity, keeper of the soul of our lands, the good queen of the kingdom of Ness. Everyone else starts clapping, though with only 20 of you in this large ballroom, it feels kind of hollow. And the good queen steps out onto the raised balcony, her gold-plated skeletal face peering down at the row of you. The large fragment of geode glimmers from where it rests on her crown. Well, what an interesting outcome. She taps her bony nails on the banister of the balcony, and you can see that her fingertips have these sharp silver metal nails. I see that we lost a sponsor. Well, it happens, and fate has decreed that the Gladiators Gauntlet will always have the 10 of Ness, and so it was, I presume, inevitable. You all have 1 week to prepare. Sponsors, I will be speaking with you soon about your requests for the Gauntlet's games. Prepare your contestants. Well, you are all dismissed. She claps her hands and then turns and leaves through the door. You all have a week until the Gladiators Gauntlet. You are escorted from the palace. Zan, Erica, and Cody, you are free to walk back to the Lesbrew Tavern and meet up with the members of the Resistance. Max and Jasmin, you are again taken to the fallen quarters of the prison and locked away deep underground. Over this week, you will prepare as best you can for the 82nd Summer's Gladiators Gauntlet.
You can find us on Twitter at Dice Disasters, and we have more information about the show and the cast at dicedisasters.com.
Our beautiful website was made by Allison Otting, who plays Erica.
Dice Disasters is edited by Alan Brazzell, who plays Cody.
Our cover art was made by our DM, Oliver Northwood.
Our theme song is by People Need Goals, who you can find on Bandcamp or on Twitter at People Need Goals. Their music is incredible, and we are so thankful that they made it for us.
Next week is our scheduled week off, so our story will continue in 2 weeks. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Bye!
And by the way, all I want to do is find Jasmin to sing Little Mermaid's Kiss the Girl via message at them. That was the whole purpose of that scene. Was just to have Cody sing.
I'm both very glad and also very upset that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just try and see what happens.
Incredible.